Bill C-2 is the most dangerous liberal attack on our privacy, and if it passes, the government can track you without a warrant.
A strong border is essential to our national security, to foster safe communities and our support for the economy.
The Liberal Strong Border Act, Bill C-2, goes to its first debate but faces sharp criticism from other parties. MPs agree with the idea of expanding powers for border officers and toughening up immigration, but there was criticism from opposition MPs that there's nothing in there on bail reform and no increase to the number of border officers that would be needed.
It would allow CSIS, police, and peace officers to demand personal info from online service providers without a warrant, based only on vague suspicions of potential crime or legal breaches on any act of Parliament. The government has not indicated what policy concerns, aside from vague references to security, these provisions are needed for.
There's also growing concern over a provision in C-2 requiring electronic services providers turn personal data over to law enforcement without a warrant. The public safety minister says this does not violate civil liberties or rights, but conservatives want to know why there's no charter statement, a document required for every government bill outlining how the law may affect the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
No bail reform. Now that's a massive issue. There was just a story in the news this morning. 36 men charged with crimes against children. I think you all know what I'm talking about. And 33 of those men were released back onto the streets. Now the Liberal government wants warrantless searches for security, access to your information without your permission.
There will be a charter statement that's forthcoming, Mr. Speaker. As you know, this bill was only introduced 2 days ago. There will be a charter statement coming, and there will be a robust debate on this issue.
Well, I'm pretty confident that the charter statement will say that it is compliant with the charter. That's basically what these charter statements always say. But that hasn't, of course, stopped the courts from at times saying that certain aspects of the legislation are simply not compliant with Canadian law.
Michael Geist is a law professor and says the Supreme Court ruled in 2014 that the privacy of even basic subscriber information is charter protected. The federal government says C-2 would only be used to get basic information. An example provided is this IP address one of your users, but Geist says it's much, much more.
Once you take a look at what the legislation allows law enforcement to demand without court oversight is far broader than that. And so it is, yes, is this person one of yours? Are they a subscriber? But it's also, do you have data about their use? Can you tell me when they used the service, where they used the service, when did they subscribe to your service or leave your service? Do you know of other providers that they may be using that we should be contacting?
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.
Now, I think there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, Mike, I don't care. I don't care if they access my information. I have nothing to hide. Well, let's take a look at the people that are going to be accessing your information, and it's not good. So from 1990 up to around 2008, the SIU investigated approximately 3,400 cases involving serious police-related incidents, death, firearm discharges, SA, and laid 95 criminal charges, only 16 of which led to convictions, with just 3 resulting in jail time. In the 15 years through 2020, the SIU handled 689 SA reports against officers. Only 7.4% proceeded to charges. Of those, only 1.59% ended in conviction. That's around 11 cases out of 689. Between 2015 and 2020, Alberta's ASIRT handled 67 SA allegations. Only 4 officers were charged. Out of those, just 1 was convicted. Those numbers are absolutely horrible, and these are not the people I want accessing my information.
Civil liberties and privacy advocates say Canada's new Strong Borders Act could actually remove the barriers that protect your private information.
It's just a blank check of these new powers.
Bill C-2 would expand law enforcement's authority to open and inspect your mail and make it easier for police to search your computer or device if they deem it urgent.
This legislation is about your personal data and personal information. And that data and information can reveal a trove of background about our lives.
Police would also have the power to force telecoms and digital platforms to hand over details of your online use. That includes your smartphone and internet, email and messaging apps, details like when you use them and where you were, without a warrant.
This really does invite potential phishing expeditions.
This expert in privacy law says police could demand that information if they suspect you violated any federal law, not just the criminal code.
This really puts our privacy at risk. And you don't have to take my word for it. The Supreme Court of Canada has repeatedly examined exactly these issues and has articulated unequivocally that Canadians have a reasonable expectation of privacy. And in effect, we have the government saying, well, no, you don't.
Now, this shouldn't even be a question. The biggest problem is the people accessing this information and the government who wants it are not held to the same standards as us. They openly commit crimes and are almost never held accountable.
But child protection advocates say police need easier and faster access to this information. This center receives tips about online exploitation of children. Police often need to link a computer's IP address to a suspect. The process of requesting that data can take months. By then, that information may have already disappeared.
There are pieces of information that are only in the possession of companies that provide internet services to subscribers.
The public safety minister says this legislation strikes a balance with Canadians' privacy rights.
So, Marina, police have been calling for easier access to digital information. What exactly are they saying?
The Association of Chiefs of Police says Canada lags behind its allies. That makes it hard for authorities here to gather and share information to take on international crime. Police say this legislation simply modernizes this country's laws so they can keep up with the technology criminals now use.
All right, thank you. That is Marina von Stackelberg in Ottawa.
It is absolutely disgusting that they will say this is for the children and then release the men who commit the crimes against the children right back onto the streets. I will put a link in the description to the story. Bill C-2 needs to be stopped. Inch by inch, they want to take away our freedom so that they have control. This isn't about helping people. This is about the government working to have complete control over you. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.